There we go. We have volume? What's good? My God, my neck, baby. Why didn't you tell me I was getting so fat? This is the intro, by the way. We're at PAX. Apple Buddy here. And yeah, let's go check out some games.
What's going on? Move the Mouse here. Apple Buddy, my wife, and I headed into Boston this morning on an unseasonably warm February morning. It was about 45 degrees, and we went to the BCEC, the Boston Convention and Expo Center. Now, for those of you that haven't been to PAX or to the BCEC, it's really tough to understand how big this building is. It's 516,000 square feet, which is big enough to put 9 football fields into, so that should give you some idea of how big this place is. The place is just so huge. So one thing that we were a little disappointed about was this show felt a little smaller this year without Xbox and PlayStation there. Mixer had a booth, but PlayStation had no presence and Xbox had no official presence. You know, the big name companies are not the reason to go to PAX. You'll find out about all those games because of the big marketing dollars that they have behind those projects. The indie games are really where it's at, but the show did feel a little different, a little smaller this year without them there. There was definitely some interesting games. There was a couple of rhythm-based games, which I'm always interested in when things are done right. Fuser is from Harmonix, the team behind Rock Band. And if you know the game Drop Mix, the tabletop game Drop Mix, it kind of seems like that almost, but in a video game form. So it looks like it could be a lot of fun. You're basically a DJ on stage, mixing all these different tracks together. And it looked pretty interesting, so I'll definitely keep my eye out for that one. They definitely know what they're doing with rhythm games. But then there were some other independent games, like Overpass really caught my eye, and it looked like a really cool twist on a rhythm game. So that one's definitely one that I might check out on the channel. Stay tuned for that. There were some other cool indie games like Lumote. I think I'm saying that right. Basically, it's a blue bot that's taking over the red evil energy in the world. And you can actually see this massive world behind you. And as you go through the levels, it's actually all there in this big open space. It's a pretty cool concept. And again, definitely one that I'm interested to check out some more of. I didn't get to play it, but Apple Buddy and a couple friends did get to play Fall Guys, which is basically a battle royale / Japanese TV game show. It's pretty ridiculous. It looks like it's going to be lots of fun. Again, something that I'm going to keep my eye on for the channel. That's a battle royale that I could get into. Another one that definitely has my attention is Session, the skate game. And this one looks to fill that void that we're never going to fill with Skate 4, unfortunately. I stopped by the booth for a couple minutes, and it looks like the controls are pretty hard because everybody was falling flat in their face every 3 seconds. So I've been meaning to dive into that one, and I think maybe it's time. So again, stay tuned for more on Session coming soon to the channel, I think. PAX is a really varied show because you have some of the big name booths up front. You have a huge section of indie games. If you don't have VR at home, you can try all sorts of titles. But then they also do these massive open floor tournaments over the course of the weekend, and there's some pretty cool stuff there. So there's a little something for everybody. If you want to bring your own computer and hook up and join a LAN tournament, you can. If you want to use one of the PCs that are there, you can wait in line for those to play games as a group at the show. All really kind of interesting, fun stuff, but for the most part, I just spend most of my time in the indie games. Exposure looked pretty fun. It's a weird kind of camouflage game where you're kind of hiding behind colors that are constantly moving on the screen. Someone tipped me off to Kiwi, which is actually a really fun game. Everyone I went with today got a chance to get their hands on this one. And it's this weird kind of co-op game where you're 2 birds working in a remote post office, and you're taking telegrams and typing on these ridiculous keyboards that take up the entire room, but you have to work as a team with the other bird to get these things done. And it's these weird kind of indie concept co-op games that I absolutely love and steal the show for me. So Kiwi is one to watch out for. Unfortunately, that one's not due out until 2021, but from the little taste of it that I got today, man, is that going to be a fun game. So stay tuned for info on that one. Now, it's not just about the new games. There's all kinds of retro tech there too. So if you want to add to your collection of classic games for old consoles, if you want to pick up an old console, you can do all that sorts of stuff at the show. Another really cool slice of retro I saw at the show was a group of Boston indie game developers that are selling their games on 5.25-inch floppy disks. Now, I asked, and no, there's no link. There's not anything on the disc. They're demagnetized, but it's a really cool way. The Steam codes are basically on the back of the 5 1/4 inch discs. It's just a pretty cool way to make use of some old obsolete technology that would otherwise go probably to a landfill. Pretty cool, definitely like the approach there. But from the old retro to the new and flashy, there's all kinds of other things to see at the show. You can get a look at some really cool water loops from Thermaltake and some other vendors that are at the show. There's all kinds of custom controllers, whether you want something for PlayStation, Xbox, custom Joy-Cons for the Switch, little something for everybody. If tabletop's more your thing too, there's an entire section in the back. We'll be getting to more of the tabletop though, so stay tuned over the weekend. I hope to bring you at least one more video. I'll be at PAX East Friday and Saturday. Coming into the show though today, there was one game that I absolutely had to stop and see, and that was Moving Out. It's a really fun co-op game. I hope you'll forgive the terrible audio because it is so noisy in there. I've done my best to reduce the noise, but crank up the volume, grab some headphones if you can, and hopefully everything is discernible. I got the chance to speak with Ashley from SMG Studios, and he told us a little bit more about the game.
All right, so we are here at the SMG Studio booth, and they are releasing Moving Out in April?
April 28th.
April 28th. PC, Xbox,
PlayStation,
and Switch, everything.
And physical releases for those consoles as well. So.
Was it coming to Alexa, or is that?
No, yeah.
So, as far as the game, like I know, like we love Death Square.
Yeah, thank you.
Does this one have online multiplayer too?
No online.
Okay, just co-op.
I mean, PC you have the remote play, whatever it's called, remote play anywhere together or something. And PlayStation you got share play. Okay. But yeah, no online.
Okay.
You can't punch people online. So,
it's not as fun.
Yeah.
What's kind of been like the development for this in terms of like how do you go from like a Death Square to something that's a little bit more, it seems a little bit more humorous, a little bit, I think there wasn't humor in Death Square, but like this one had us laughing like the first time we played it. So.
Well, I think we learned a lot from Death Squared in terms of how do you make the game more visually appealing, have a lot more variety. Also, we partnered with a developer called Jon Riegel from, I've said his name wrong, from DevM. And so he'd seen us do Death Squared, he had this prototype, and he said, hey, I've got this co-op multiplayer game again, but I need help. And so we kind of partnered up, and it's just kind of like everything we learned from Death Squared that I think we did wrong, we've done better with this one. So it's visually interesting, it's got more like lovable characters, like the boxes were cool, but they didn't have as much appeal. A lot more variety in the levels to play. There's a little bit of puzzling, but it's a lot more kind of physics and working together. So yeah, we kind of took what we learned and evolved that before moving out.
So one of the things that one of my friends said about Death Squared was it's either the best team building game or divorce fuel. Yeah. Where do you think this one lands? Is it kind of the same, like you'll be great friends or you'll hate each other at the end?
I think it's a little bit more, I would say, forgiving, because like if one person's playing badly, you can still play. It doesn't kill the other person. But obviously, if you want the best time and you want to like work best, you have to work together. But it's not as you can slap each other in this one, but there's not as much killing of the other player compared to this way. So you can basically have one person just kind of spin around and do their own thing, while the other team kind of does their own thing. And so it actually makes it a lot easier for kids to play as well. And we've also allowed a lot more accessibility options, but also kind of difficulty options. We call it assist mode. So you can turn down the difficulty by adding time. You can remove obstacles. When you put things in the truck, instead of having to manage the truck, they just disappear. So we're really big on that. So you can play with kids, you can play with people who aren't going to be as fast. So yeah,
that's very cool. Well, we're super excited about this one. So anything that we need to know that people don't know?
No, I mean, we've still got more stuff to kind of reveal. There's a kind of a Scooby-Doo 80s cartoon mystery to solve in the game. We've got like a epic boss battle. Our next trailer will kind of reveal a little bit more of that. So there's a fun story in there as well, like we have in Death Square. But there's more to come, and next kickoff for us is like pre-order, and then we're counting down to release on April 28th.
Very cool. Well, we will be playing it release day for sure.
Thank you.
But that's all for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at PAX, a little something different for the channel. I'll bring my camera along and let you know if there's anything else cool at the show. We're definitely going to hit the retro room up tomorrow. There's an entire room of old NES and Genesis and all sorts of old games that we can play. And I think we got our fill of new games, at least for now, and we'll probably get down to the floor a little bit more before the end of the weekend. But we'll definitely take a tour of some of the interesting side content at the show and bring you some updates on that. But let me know if you're at PAX, what you saw, what you liked, what I should check out on Friday and Saturday. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, share, all those things help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. Until the next one, though, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.
Oh, hi!
What's up, buddy?